officially supposed to start gaming like 10 minutes ago. So
yeah, 11 minutes ago. Late. He's late.
hello everybody, my name is Jamal and this is my guide. Welcome back everybody. Yes, as you can see, I have changed up my look just a tiny bit. If you've seen my past videos or have seen the video clips that you're gonna be seeing from both the clip before and also here on when you see gameplay video, I will have a full beard. I decided to clip that just to try getting a new look and seeing how I liked it. But into the game. So I wanted to talk about one game today called Chivalry 2. Now, if you've never heard about Chivalry 2, it is an awesome game, and I do recommend people take a look at it, even after I talk about it today. And if you want to watch more gameplay video, go check out more gameplay video. There's plenty of videos out there talking about Chivalry 2 and the awesomeness that it is. Quick description. What is Chivalry 2? Well, put it plainly, it's a 32v32 match. You can either choose the Ungarthians, my people, or those... I can't remember what the other team is called. That's embarrassing. Cut. All right, I'm back. So, quick rewrite. It's the Argothians versus the Mason Order. So in this game, you have 4 classes. Very similar to some other games like this, which we'll get into in a second. But the 4 classes you have is, of course, the Archer, the Vanguard, the Knight, and the Footman. Now, all these guys have different abilities and different weapons that work best for them. Knights typically have long swords and other harder weapons. They also have more armor, means they have more protection against attacks. It also means they tend to be your tanks when it comes to DPS and all that kind of stuff like that. Vanguards, on the other hand, tend to be a little bit on the lighter side. They still have armor and they tend to be faster. They also have mid-range weapons that still deal a good amount of damage, but they're good for getting in, fighting, backing up a little bit. Now, Footmen are pretty similar to the Vanguard, in my opinion. That's going to be very controversial, but the Footmen have like almost no armor whatsoever. They typically actually use spears, pikes, or even that weird like axe spear thing. I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm talking about, but they typically use those. And then lastly, you have your archers. And of course, what is a medieval game without a good archer? Which I totally forgot to say this was a medieval game. What the... But basically, the way you can compare this game is to Battlefield. It's a very simple comparison, actually. Both of them have large-scale environments. Both of them have destructible or certain destructible buildings and areas in which you can destroy. You have some class customization / adjustments, such as if I don't like a giant axe, I could switch to a longsword, which actually makes it give better swing, but gives less damage, and so on and so forth. The thing that's also comparable with Battlefield is... there's VoIP, but you're not going to use it because nobody talks to each other in this game. Like, it's hard to find anybody, whether it's around you, that's a friend or an enemy that will shit talk with you or shit talk toward them or whatever it is. You are stuck with the people that you are playing with on your Discord server. Which, not bad, I guess, if you have good friends. I got my friends. They're something. Let's see here. Oh, I should probably switch this over and say that I'm in Chivalry.
Yes, stupid bitch, yes.
Shoot,
I'm not deserting. I'm not deserting, I promise.
Yes, you are. You're a dirty deserter, and we all know it. With all joking aside, though, I love this game. I love my friends to play it with because it's such a cool game. I've always been super into medieval stuff. Another game this is very similar to is Mordu. I always call it Mordu. I'm not sure if I'm saying it incorrectly. It's very similar as the fact you're also going to have other players. I think it's around the same player base too. Knights and other class systems like that fighting against each other to win a victorious battle, which there are some different things with these games compared to Chivalry. For one, Chivalry, you don't actually have the ability to vote on maps or on playstyles. You have to go on servers that actually will either do rotationary areas where they'll switch maps around and switch gameplay modes around, or you have to go to specific maps that say certain gameplay, certain maps, and so on and so forth. Personally, I would just prefer to be on a server that rotates it, and that way you're constantly doing something new. Granted, I like doing certain maps where you are just attacking or you're just doing it, but I think it's more fair to like say, hey, everything, even from the different people we're playing as, are going to rotate and keep playing through. Because there's actually more people in Chivalry as well than just the Ungarthians and the Masons in this game. There's also another factions like Arabic in some way. I can't remember exactly what class they are, but they're somewhere in that area. Another kind of a weird difference between this one and Battlefield, if you're used to Battlefield, is that everything has to be an up-close combat. I can't just simply take a bow and snipe it. Well, some dudes can, but bow leading is so much harder than bullet drop and bullet leading because, again, a bullet travels much faster than an arrow. You can see the arrow traveling. You can't see the bullet traveling. So you're just kind of hoping that if you lean this out far enough and lead it just right, you can pull it and the guy will walk in the line that you're aiming for, which is a difficult task to be held. By all means, it's a difficult task to be held. I think that this is a awesome game. There's a lot of things to love and a lot of things to hate about Chivalry. For instance, in my opinion, it's a very simple game. You grab a weapon, you learn the weapon, you fight with the weapon, you die with the weapon. Like, that is the simplest way to play a game. It's not anything about like trying to learn drops or anything like that. It's just pure straight up front battle hard carnage. And I'm up for it, dude. Not to mention the map layouts, like I mentioned earlier, are large and they're not complicated by any means. It's super easy to learn the map layouts, or at the very least, even for you to understand where the story and how the fight's supposed to be flowing and leading. And it also makes sense from a city perspective because they make sense city-wise designed. Like, they're not just like haphazardly, they're just like throwing up walls and buildings. No, these were pretty well curated. And I enjoy those small details when it actually looks nice like that. Not to mention, because of the fact you are locked in with certain weapons in your class, Battlefield 2042, you're able to actually have a pretty decent balancing. Oh, we have too many archers. Hey, some of us should probably become knights. Hey, there are too many knights who are just taking up too many hits and people are getting flanked and they're just getting massacred from behind too. We need some more vanguard. It's a really easy to fix system comparative that it was with Battlefield 2042, because it's not just a skill thing, it's a matter of not knowing what the guy has and how you can fix it. While this, because everyone has to stay within these weapon classes, you're able to more easily balance out and cause a victory if you guys are losing, or vice versa. Not to mention, the game modes in this are super well done, in my opinion. First off, you have basic team objective, which you can happen with the different factions in there, but basically your idea is that you're going to be conquering a certain area. You have to take out either their buildings, their places of worship, or whatever it is, their lands, or even steal foods and pigs and animals. Those blueies, whenever I was playing as the Masons, were getting us in that point. That's the one time I played as a Mason, everybody. I don't like playing Masons, but had to play as a Mason. So you'll steal cattle farm and stuff like that, or even just go into and just wreck the entire city as you're moving through and capturing the place in team objectives. In team deathmatch, it's similar, but it's more so not so much focused on you attacking and breaking and stealing or anything like that. It's more just like you are trying to go forth, go to a straight up battle and just attack and capture a point. That's it. That's all you're doing in team deathmatch. Again, fun, but kind of not really done often. That, and there's also free-for-all. Free-for-all, you'll typically be in these like weird kind of gladiatorial arena servers where it's just everybody has a weapon. You'll have some people who will just sit there and wait till they're the next person in line to fight a dude. Other people will just full on come up behind you, gank you, and run off to the next person, and you get ganked or gank somebody else. Like, there's a lot of ganking in this game. And then you have other games, other game mode types such as Brawl, which is small scale battle. It's more against like smaller teams, 5 rounds. Whoever wins the 5 rounds is the winner. It's more between like you and somebody else, and it's a competitive kind of thing. It's kind of like if you were to do ranked, I guess you could say, but without it being really a season pass or any of the other BS that games try to put us up to nowadays. And last one, my favorite one, is Last Team Standing. This is a large scale rounds based battle fight where you and your team, usually like 3 to 4, are trying to survive through all the rounds and make the effort to win. They have done an even larger scale version where it's just the 32 against the 32, and it's just whoever's left out of that team wins, basically, which is pretty great. Graphics wise, it's not bad on graphics in my opinion. I think it's pretty decent. Is it going to be like comparing it to anything like amazing? No, but it's not going to be like that, but you're more just there to have fun and fight. So the graphics are really decent in my opinion for the whole thing. Now, as for the hate I have with this game, it's very, very, very minor, except for the last one. One, again, VoIP is not, the VoIP is there, but nobody uses it. I would love to see more players using the VoIP and trash talking each other from different teams. I would love to be able to trash talk to Masons like, just got, yeah, whatever, you know, but you can't do that. On top of this, you do have a difficulty with finding servers. Since the game is not at its peak anymore and there is a smaller player base, most players are just going to the basic servers that usually are like the same 3 game modes, just repeating over and over and over and over again, instead of actually a full game list or other things like that. So you're kind of stuck finding certain servers at times. If you're really lucky, you'll find a whole huge group of people on another server that you really been wanting to play for a while. You can go for that, which is great. Last one I really have to say is skill checking. And I don't mean like they're going to be skill matchmaking with you at all or anything like that. That'd be stupid, because the whole point of the game is that you're supposed to bring up your skill either by wearing heavier armor or by getting better with being able to parry and other weapons like that and be able to dodge. It's the steep learning curve of learning all these weapons. Like I said, there's 4 classes and there's almost like 4 to 6 weapons per class that you can learn. So depending on which class you get to, if you want to be a broad range person that can easily switch between them, there's a lot of learning that you have to do, and you can't do it in like a AI simulator. They do have the tutorial sim, which is great. It teaches you all the basics, but you have to play against real players to get real good. So you're going to be dying a lot. So just hope and pray you're not doing a fitness challenge or anything like that with gaming at that point, because you're going to be buff by the time you're done. I'm just telling you now, you're going to be buff. Now, last thing I have to say is, should you get this game? Yes. In all seriousness, though, this is a great game to get to. It is a little expensive getting to it. It's $40 for the game, but it's constantly getting updates. It's constantly getting new content. It's constantly getting player feedback for what's going on in the game. And you can buy better editions and better versions so you can have more stuff unlocked right off the bat if you wanted to. That's just the base game level. I still think it's worth the play, especially if you love the idea of looking and kind of seeing what an old ancient battle would be like and how gruesome it really can get, or even just looking for some blind carnage that's just kind of all out fun and actually getting good at this game. I recommend this game. I think this would absolutely be great for your playlist and showing all your friends how a knight truly does it in battle. That was the stupidest thing I ever said. With that being said, everybody, I do appreciate your time. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye. We do have our own regiment, actually. Yeah. So any followers who want to join our regiment are totally open to it. They're totally down. And now I'm charging into battle. I forget. What is it? F?
King and country.
Fuck these people.